Take your sticking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
Welcome to VP4 TV, a Tactical Genius production. Here is a list of upcoming matches in the 2023 Virtual 9-Ball World Championships. I try to stream what I think will be the best matches to watch and offer a good standard of play. Please subscribe to my YouTube and Twitch channels so you can join in the stream chat.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Mistakes here. We just have happy accidents.
The trouble with Scotland is that it's full of Scots.
When things look bad, and it looks like you're not gonna make it, then you gotta get mean. I mean plumb mad dog mean. Because if you lose your head and you give up, then you neither live nor win. That's just the way it is.
Your assignment tonight is strategic. You can't give the enemy a break. Send them to hell.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to VP4 TV. And I have been messing around with my chat, and I notice it's now not appearing on my monitor. I don't know what the hell's happened there. Just give me a second. Or not appearing on my... yeah, it's linked. Just hang on a minute. Right, I might have to ditch it. Hold on a second, guys. Just hold on a second. Hopefully I can do this without the thing dying on me. Let me just remove that. Let me just go to another. What one was it on? What one's got the chat on it? Hang on. Just bear with us. We'll get this sorted. That's it. And that's for the benefit of the guys watching the stream who want to see the chat up on the screen. Anyway, I've got something to discuss with Slim in a little while. At some point. Welcome everybody. Welcome to Bedhead, Travelling TT. Now, Travelling TT's actually pulled one out of the hat because that's exactly the prediction I was going to give tonight. I'm going to go LS3 1917. Now, there's something worth mentioning. Now, there might be a perfectly good reason for this, although being a commentator, I can try and read between the lines and make up some sort of story. LS3 isn't generally in the afternoon. She's I don't know, she's probably working or whatever, and then gets home and then comes in and plays tourneys for the most of the evening. Spectredawn, whenever I'm in the afternoon, is usually in VP4. Now today, I don't know for what reason, he wasn't in the lobby. He has had no practice apart from the last half hour, 45 minutes or whatever. And I wonder if he's taken LS3 a bit lightly. Or is there a perfectly good reason why he wasn't in the afternoon? You make up your own mind, guys. I discovered something today. I've got VP4 set to desktop mode. And the reason I've got it to desktop mode is I've always had a problem where having the second monitor, I'm still having to look across to see the chat on my second monitor. Now I've got two separate chats I've got the one that's always been there, the one that you see on the live broadcast. Welcome to Mark, Hair Pig, and everybody else. And I've also discovered a little app when I was browsing YouTube today, and there is a Twitch chat app. It's especially for people who have a single monitor, but the reason I'm using it, and I've got it installed and it's working brilliant, is that I can now just look at my normal screen. I don't have to look at the second monitor. I can look across just to see the display's okay and everything, and I haven't got this up on the screen all evening and that sort of stuff. But the chat app that I've got, Slim, I don't know whether you use two monitors or not, but I'll tell you something, you have got to get this app because it saves you having to tab out to look at chat if you have to. You can have it on your screen, and it is dead simple to work because I managed to work it. Anyway, that's another point. I'm just going to tab out for a second. I'll be back with you in a sec. Now, it will go black, I think. A bit like that. Now, Steve is there. And so we'll do this.
Welcome to VP4 TV. You're watching a Tactical Genius production. Please welcome your commentary team for this match, 9ball.com and Super Admin aka Steve Chapman, CEO and President of Celeris, Inc. Good luck to both players and have a good
evening.
Good afternoon and good evening to Steve. And welcome to everybody else who I might have missed. Travelling TT, among others, has predicted. Now, why have I lost VP4? I know why I've lost it. I think that's the reason. Something's gone amiss already. No, I haven't. Wait a minute, I'm in the wrong channel. That's what it is. Panic Station's there. There we go. Travelling TT beat me to it because I was still playing my little intros while he came into the chat, but he predicted 1917 to LS3, and that's the one I was going to predict because obviously everybody else is sort of highly in favour of Spectredawn. But I mentioned before you came in, Steve, that today was a bit of a surprise.
Semi just said LS3.
Yeah, well, today Spectredawn wasn't in practicing in the afternoon because he's usually in every day. And he's only been in the last half hour or so. So is he underestimating LS3, or is it just a coincidence that he wasn't in today? I don't know. We'll find out. Yeah. I don't know what you think, but I mean, on paper, I think Slim said he'll make maybe less errors than LS3 will, and he might be more likely to capitalise on them.
Yeah, I think that's, if it's just, talking about breaking and running out, LS3's gotten better, but Spectredawn's still better than her at that. We know Spectredawn does not move well. The question is, does LS3? And I have not seen that. I don't know if she's practiced that. Maybe, because I think that's the way to beat Spectredawn is just, get them in a moving game and grind them down. Kind of what, one Pocket Slim did the other day. Just... That's how I would approach against a player like Spectredawn, especially since she's a little bit of a disadvantage, I think.
Well, it'll be interesting to see whether she goes hell for leather trying to pot everything, or whether she does have it in mind about a strategy side of things. Because, as you say, I mean, that could be a way to maybe frustrate him or get under his skin, whatever.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that you can't just decide you're gonna, play safe more. I mean, if you're not good at playing safe because you haven't practiced it, then it's, it's one of those things where that strategy won't work. So
yeah, I mean, but I'm thinking wind it in a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying do that all night, but what I'm saying is be wise to the situation and make the right choices at the right time. Hopefully for her sake.
Yeah. Well, making good decisions, playing good patterns. Yeah, her tendency that I've seen in the past is to shoot some wild shots. If she can stay away from that, it would be better.
Right, the room's up.
Right off the bat, there's a pretty good break.
Probably just missed the break. That's why I'm late in getting in. Oh, this is brilliant. I've got all the chat right down the right side of my screen. It's great.
Don't push that way. Yeah, you got to push down the table that way. And Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's a pretty good push because there's no easy play here. She's probably going to get this back.
Yeah.
And, you know, the play is kind of, there's a couple plays. One, you can thin the one and try to bring the cue ball over behind the 6, you know, kind of thin the one, pass the side pocket. Another thing you could do is bank it real shallow up to the end rail. And, you know, the speed's not that great on that. It's hard to use the 4 ball for that.
Well, she's got it back, like you said, and she's got the right idea, but she hasn't got there and left it on, I think.
Yeah, you need to put a little bit of English on that to get it over to behind the 6.
Exactly,
and,
a bit of left, yeah.
You know, so this is a pretty good opportunity to play safe here, but I don't think Spectredawn knows these ones. Well, he had the shot. That's kind of surprising he missed that.
Well, there you go. Here's the first great opportunity to administer punishment right off the bat here. First mistake by Spectredawn. And of course, LS3 has to do this all night. She has to take full advantage of these type of situations. I mean, it's stately obvious. We all know that.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is an easy table, so you expect her to run out. I mean, she's gotten pretty good at the run out game.
Oh dear.
Oh boy.
Oh dear. Well, I think we've cursed her. I mean, that was awful. Straight off. First big error when she had the table glaring at her mercy.
Well, maybe a little bit of nerves from both players.
Well, she wants to get that out of her mind, out of her system.
Yeah, you know, Spectredawn's going to run out most of these tables. He gets tables without problems. He's very good. She may run out of steam. Isn't she 30-something? How do you run out of steam when you're 30-something?
So against LS3's break.
Yeah, well, and this is not looking good.
Well, again, she can redeem herself immediately. This table is perfect again. Not a problem in the table. Can't be messing this one up.
Yeah, 4 to 5 is the hardest part, and that's really pretty easy. You know, you've got enough room to get by the 8 ball and go 3 rails around.
I'm going to. You're not in YouTube. You're not in Facebook, Slim, are you? I don't think you are. But I'm going to take a picture of my main screen that I'm looking at here to let you see how I've got this chat fixed. It's brilliant. Where the hell's my camera?
Well, she's left this a bit odd. Well, actually, it's not bad. She's got enough room. She can just draw this up the rail. You could draw it straight, or you could put it to the rail with a left English, kind of depending on what you want to do. You got to choose between one of those, though, because the side pocket's there. And VP, this is pretty easy to draw it straight up. She's going to go to the rail and overhit it.
Are you there, Mark? Is Steve-O there? Why can't I find... Oh, there it is. I found it. It's okay. I found it.
Well, I mean, if this is me here, I'm playing safe. I'm locking this on the 9 ball. I mean, this is a really easy safety because you got the 7 ball there as kind of safety. Well, yeah, see that? I think that's a mistake not to lock it on the 9 ball because now you're giving up a free jump shot.
Right, it's I posted that a picture of my monitor screen with the chat that I'm now seeing on my monitor. I posted it on Facebook. Oh,
She dodged that bullet, and
now with me messing about there, Steve, I've missed why LS3 hasn't run the table.
Well, the 4 to the 5 was a little tricky, especially the way she got on the 4. It was one of those speed control shots, and she overcooked it, and then played a safety, left a jump shot. Spectredawn didn't make it, and now we're at this point where LS3 is going to win the rack. I think, they're just kind of filling each other out at this point, trying to get rid of the nerves.
I've got 18 votes on that community vote on my YouTube channel. We need more votes for the next VP4 leagues. I think 8-ball World on the 9-footer is just slightly in the lead still. Watch this point. I'll do it. Well, she'll be relieved at that. I mean, it's always nervy getting the first rack in the board.
Well, she's got a game on, and she's breaking. And her break the first time was pretty good. She's breaking right from the middle, which, it can be good from there. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of breaking from the middle, to be honest with you. Not in 9-ball. Even in 10-ball, I'd be off a little bit. But
she might have got away with this.
I think you're just better off breaking at least a little off to the side.
Not an awful lot of options available there to Spectredawn because you could only partially see that 1 ball. But I mean, it's not bad. But LS3 can see an edge of this 1 ball. If she gets the pace right and misses bumping the 5, she can skim down behind the 4, 2, and 9.
Oh no, she's not going to hit the 5. The problem is she's probably going to hit the 7. It's close. Oh, she got by it.
That'll do. I mean, it's still going to be it's got to be a short jump to get this. Sometimes it's easy for players to jump over the object ball, but then, the blocking ball, but then it's too short and they end up missing the 1 ball, a bit like that. That was exactly the problem I seen there. Not that I could have done that jump, but it just looked too close.
Yeah, you got to be able to control the distance. It was doable, but obviously that wasn't the right ticket.
Well, let's look for problems. Well, 6-ball isn't a problem as long as you're on it.
Yeah, this table's just a little funny. I think, 4 to the 5, because is she funny here?
I think she could just drop this in.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, will it leak away too far to the left here, or is it heading up towards the 6 and 8 ball?
You can keep it in the center of the table and then hit a shot with a lot of English on it to get it to the rail, because you want to get to the rail on that 5-ball.
She's going up top side.
No, that was... Oh, I'm looking at the 4-ball being next. Silly me.
So now, the angle that she's got, she can just cut the 3 in, but has to get back up the middle of the table. So I don't think she wants to try and get cute and end up here. She's got to get up here. This is no good as far as I'm concerned, because that 9 ball's in the way. You're asking for trouble.
Well, you can be on either side of the 4, because you can go 3 rails around or come back. I mean, off the end rail and run into the 9 is probably the best choice.
I told you, commentator's eye. I told you.
Well, that's the reason why you play to run into the 9.
You
Because
got to get it up the table, though. That's the safest
yeah.
route.
Yeah, it probably would have been safer to hit it harder. You're right.
Spectre ejector. I've just noticed that. You know, notice that, Steve. I couldn't read the text there until Slim pointed it out. She's got. I mean, she just got a text into her profile pic there in the room, and it says Spectre ejector.
Well, neither one of them was able to handle that close jump shot. I mean, that's just trying to get too perfect on a position, really.
Yep. But as I said, I mean, my little alarm bell is ringing. Where's the safest place to be assured of getting a shot in that 4-ball? I'll show you with my donut. Right there. That's where the safest spot was. Anywhere there, you're seeing the 4-ball, not a problem. But, you know, trying to get cute on it. Don't say the commentator's never wrong.
Well, you know, you had mentioned that at the beginning about making good decisions.
Yeah. To me, you have to go the safest route, you know, and that was it. The common sense approach will guarantee you that shot in the 4-ball. You're never going to be not in the 4-ball, being in the middle of the table, because you know it's surrounded by nothing in the middle of the table. Well, this is a wee tricky one. He has to watch the 9 here.
I think you can roll this with a little inside English to kill it.
Yeah,
you didn't need to put English on it.
Killing it all together, yeah.
No, he's good.
Oh, I never noticed Bill. Welcome to Bill. Bedhead.
No, Bill's been here the whole time.
Yeah, I've been messing about fixing that chat on the live broadcast.
Well, this is, you know, this has been giveaway so far. Eventually, somebody's going to stop giving away, and that's how we're going to get some separation.
Yeah. So, Spectredawn with the advantage, 2-1 up and the break.
And he's brought the cue ball back. Didn't get it to hop, but that's fine.
Right,
doesn't have to hop.
Here's a question for you, Steve. Now, you don't need to get into too much technical detail. Just give it in numpty terms. I've got VP4 in desktop mode because, as I say, I have to have it in desktop mode for this chat app to work. It appears over the actual broadcast on my screen, my main screen.
Well done there.
Now, does VP4 use less resources in desktop mode than it does in full screen mode? Depending on, you know, obviously your graphics card and all of that. Is there any sort of generality in saying that yes, it does slightly, or is that just me talking gibberish?
No. It potentially could use more in desktop mode.
You think so?
It could potentially, but I don't think, you know, nowadays with the graphics cards there's going to be much difference.
I mean, my graphics card's got like, what is it? Is it 6 gig of memory, and I've got 32 gig of RAM, and I'm just wondering what the quality of the stream is for the guys watching, because I'm back on 1080. Does everything look okay?
Well, mine's way behind right now. I don't know why. Let me refresh it.
Well, my bitrate, as I said, Slim, it's set automatically by XSplit, and that's the right shot. Nice pace. So this is the lesson that LS3 doesn't want to be learning all night. That's exactly what's happening here.
A little jerky. I mean, the thing is, if your frame rate's varying off of a multiple of 30, it can cause some problems where the balls don't roll smoothly. Let's see here.
Well, I've watched any of Slim's broadcasts, and they've been fine.
I mean, you can mess with the sync settings and stuff. FPS limit. You just don't. You don't want to. You want to be at 30 or at 60, because if you're like in between something, then depending on the refresh rate on the system, it's probably going to be like 60 hertz. If you're not a multiple, then you can get some situations where you see tearing or the ball doesn't roll smooth.
Well, the guys will be the ones that will tell me that. Slim says it's perfect. And again, a reminder to the guys watching, if you think the stream does look a bit dodgy, before you complain, shrink your screen down and go to the little cog in the bottom right hand corner and make sure it's on 1080. It should be 1920 by 1080, which is HD. You've always got to remember that Twitch and YouTube will default to a level when you first go on board with this, watching a stream. It does that. It does it with me as well. When I go and look at some videos, it does it.
What do I have to? Where I don't see where the settings are for.
Yeah, I think there's. If you look generally in the bottom right hand corner of the broadcast, you'll see there's a little cog or a little tab or something that you can open up.
Yeah. Quality 1080p source. Yeah, mine's on 1080p.
Well, this is up and down the table, isn't it? Shouldn't be a problem. Hang on a minute.
Trouble with
Wrong
Scotland.
button. It was that one I meant. Where's the cue ball going? That's the one I meant to do. The cue ball's okay. Well, there's a little. If you're in Spectredawn's LS3's corner, there's a little bit of concern here, because it's looking extremely likely it's going to be 4-1.
So, let me give you a little tip here. If you press F9, it'll put up an instantaneous frame rate
for
on
VP4.
The, VP4.
Yeah,
but see what your frame rate is.
Let me check and see whether that's allocated to any of my shortcuts for XSplit, though. Hang on. No, it won't do it in desktop mode, though, will it?
Yeah, it will.
Well, I don't see it. Where does it appear? Where does it appear? The bottom right-hand corner?
In the lower right. Like, well, I don't see it on the stream.
Yeah,
of course,
I can't.
My stream is stopped now, but
Oh, hang on. Maybe if I press the right button, it will do it.
F9.
No, I can't see it because I've got the chat on the screen.
There it is. Yep. There it's
Can you see it? Yeah.
It's running 60 right now, which is what you want.
Yeah.
So you're running 60 FPS. So you may have this thing set to some kind of I don't remember what the default sync is. But yeah, if you're on 60, you're good. That's what you want. You want it to be 60 and be a solid 60, and that's what it looks like you've got.
I generally am, because it tells me that anyway at the end of the broadcast when I get the email through from Restream. It tells you what your connection was like.
But the stream's no good for me right now. I don't know why, but it keeps falling way behind.
Well, I mean, you're over 3,000 miles away, Steve.
Nah, that doesn't matter that much. Let me change this to auto and see what it does. Now it's on 480p.
Well, it's crap internet connection. That's what it is. It's your system. That's what it is.
It could be. I mean, things tend to be worse locally. Although I think I've got a 400 megabit connection, but doesn't mean that's what you're getting.
No, it doesn't. Well, Spectredawn's doing what he does, isn't he? You know, this is meat and drink. LS3 just has to be patient. There's a long way to go. She doesn't want to start throwing all her eggs into one basket here, or whatever the saying is.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Even at 480, I'm having trouble. Come back to it and see what it does. Now it's down to 360. Screw that. Going back to 1080.
Welcome to Rabbit. Well, Spectredawn, ominous looking here. Ball in the break. No real shot though, but he can.
Well, I mean, this is a great opportunity to play safe here. This is just a little touch safe. You thin the one with right English, and you get the cue ball to hold up and go right on the 9 ball.
Yeah.
See, the way he played it is okay, but I think it was easier to get the cue ball on the 9.
That side pocket's a big pocket.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is a pretty easy kick, and the best thing about it is if you miss it, you might be safe. Too much English? Yeah, it looked like a little too much English. Just hit that a little less English, and that's in. Well, this is not going well for LS3 so far.
Well, this is, I mean, you're right enough, Bedhead, but like I say, what LS3 has to do is not get desperate. You know, it's not a time to get desperate at this stage in the match. She just has to play her game.
Yeah. Well, I said this the other day, and one of the things that you have to do to win matches is when things are just going crappy, and it seems like every time you get to the table and it's just not a good situation, and you have to figure out a way to fight through that. Play safe, make a great shot, do something. But you can't, just because it's a difficult situation or a tough table, you can't just like give it back to the other person. That's just not going to get it done.
That's exactly what, why competition like this, race to 19 is going to test all factors of your game, because it isn't just about the potting of the balls. It's everything else. It's how the mindset is when you're in a situation like this, how you react to it, and what you do to compensate it and get through it. So this is one good test for LS3. And, who knows? I mean, she if she wins this rack, which she should, the break might start working, and she might give Spectre some of his medicine.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously you need to run out more, let them handle those difficult situations better. You don't have to shoot the ball. You can play safe, make a different decision. You can't afford to give the table back with 5 balls left, because that's going to cost you at least one game.
That's an interesting comment. Good evening to Larry. That's good that I've got the chat on my screen, because I can look at loads of chat that's missing off the normal chat that you guys are seeing. Larry says he can't run full screen in Windows 11. Now, you're talking about VP4? Because Steve needs to fix that then. Or he needs to tell you how to fix it. Larry will confirm that. Yes, so Larry can't run VP4 in full screen mode in Windows 11. That's no good.
Interesting.
So you just have to go desktop and drag it. Welcome to Bankster. It locks up. Ah. Very interesting. And Chimpy says it's not Windows 11. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, you can send me the message log. I can look at it, see what kind of error. I'm sure there's probably some kind of error happening.
Oh, no, it won't be the trap mouse. No, there's Chimpy contradicting it, because Chimpy says it isn't Windows 11 because he's running Windows 11 and he's probably saying it's full screen.
A lot of people run Windows 11. I mean, there's various reasons why something like that could happen.
It wouldn't be a I mean, I'm stating the obvious again. It wouldn't be a conflict with some app or software that's running in the background in his PC.
It could be. I mean, it could be anything. I mean, I would say, have you tried it? Where have you tried different resolutions, setting different resolutions for your full screen and see what it does?
The only thing is I won't have Windows 11 unless my PC blows up and I have to get a new one. And I won't be getting it either because my PC, according to Microsoft, won't run it.
Yeah, Windows 11's okay. I mean, it's I wouldn't say it's a huge upgrade from Windows 10, but it's pretty stable. I haven't had a lot of trouble with it.
You'll need to remind them how to get the message log again, Steve, because I can't remember either.
Let's see, is that in the documents? Let me look.
Windows 11 changed the way it handles full screen mode. Well, there's bound to be something on YouTube about it, Larry. That's the first place you head. Just type in Windows 11 doesn't run games in full screen mode, and I guarantee there's loads of videos with guys saying I had that problem. Here's how you fix it.
That's the thing you should always do first. I mean, is
YouTube's brilliant for that.
Use Google.
I mean that's a numpty's paradise. That's where I head a lot of the time. That's a good shot. I like that. That's good distance. You're not jumping that. The 2 and 8 ball might be in way of the kick from the long rail on the left, and this one's not quite as easy to judge from the long rail on the right. So, got to get this hit and got to get lucky. The only thing she doesn't want to do is get really hit this full on and bump the 2 and 8 open, or make it easier with the 2 and 8. She's got to be careful here. Oh, that was almost a brilliant shot. That was almost a brilliant shot. I mean, brilliant if it had went in, and better if it had gone along the rail and hooked him behind the 2 and 8 there.
Well, like normal, I'm just trying to post where this file is, and of course, Twitch wants me to log in, then it wants me to go get a freaking code.
Yeah, the usual. Yeah, security measures. Yeah, that's why I make sure that when I'm cleaning my PC that I don't get rid of all my cookies, because you end up having to get back into bloody Twitch every time and get a code.
Apple's terrible about, use your Apple ID. They want you to log in for everything now.
So it's C documents and settings, the username, local settings, virtual pool, Celeris virtual pool. I still got Windows 7 on my VP4 PC, been running strong for 10 years or something now. I've never had a problem with Windows 7. Although, I mean, every version of Windows that comes out, it's usually crappier than the last one, or it's full of exploits. It's always the same. It's a bit like launching a game, isn't it? I mean, they launch a PC game and then there's bugs in the game and then they have to do patches to fix things. You always have to, the software. So this is a stomach settler here for LS3. Now, just got to get into the cue ball. Don't want to chicken out. Well, I'd have got into it a bit more. So if I'd have bailed out maybe with the VP4 draw shot just to get up top and have an angle in the 8 ball and make it easier to get back for the 9. This needs a good bit of control here.
Yeah, this is, you can just hit this and come across the other side rail. You don't have to come down.
Got to get further across.
That's fine. I mean, could it be better? Yeah, but it's better than overhitting and getting below it. I mean, this is not a shot you should miss. If you're gonna make a mistake, you want to make a mistake on the short side on that, and that's what she did.
Just watch the pace in the cue ball. Don't be running the cue ball. Don't be taking too long over it either. That'll do it.
Yeah, so that you shouldn't ever be that close to that side pocket. That's just, you got to draw that and go like 3 rails with a cue ball.
Well, that early panic that I had for LS3, it was 5-1. She was down. And
right now she seems to be like, that last shot was like, I'm scared of the shot. I'm going to cinch it. And, she's lucky she didn't scratch. This wasn't a positive stroke on it.
Right now, I think she can go behind the 5 here, can't she?
Yeah, it's
she might.
natural.
She doesn't want to bump the 6 so and hook behind the 9.
Just a little English, she'll miss the 6.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep.
Nice pace.
And stop. Yep.
No.
She's good. Gonna shoot the 4 ball up table. She can just roll forward here.
Now, I don't know why she's decided to leave this as a combo. She should have took the medicine, Steve. I mean,
yeah, I would have shot the 4.
I mean, there was nothing wrong with finishing there and cutting that down the table.
No.
And this is not a gimme. It's inside the 7 ball, so you've got to get that line. But I mean, again, with a nice pace, you should be able to get this. Not a problem. Now, the angle it's on this can shake. Let's have a look. See, I can't judge that from behind. No, you've got to.
Well, you either got to go 2 rails, or I would always draw this ball just because it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
I would always hit this with draw. You can go forward with it. I mean, it's got an angle you can go forward if you want, but I'm almost always drawing this shot.
That was nice. Now, got to get high enough in this 6 ball, or just dink it and roll it up the table. One of the two. She's going for the dink. Now, got to watch the side pocket here.
She's a little funny here.
Yeah, got to watch it.
Might have to force this a little, make sure you get to the side rail before the side pocket. Well, she's just gonna bun it.
Well,
that's okay. I mean, in real life, you don't want this shot. VP, it's not so bad, but in real life, that's not the shot you want to leave yourself.
Oh, that's what you never answered me, Slim. Do you use one monitor when you're streaming, and yet then you tab out to have to look at chat, or have you got a second monitor? You've got to. Well, that's fine then. You don't need what I've got, but if you want to have it the way I've got it, then get that little app. It's brilliant. This is night and day for me.
Well, that was well hit to get on the 9 ball this good.
No, it's one of them though, Steve. The one I keep going on about, a wee bit square. But you see the angle you play the shot. You shouldn't be messing about.
Yeah, this is. I mean, if you're watching a pro play pool, they're not missing this shot. If they do, then they're going to be pretty unhappy. But,
dear! Dear!
That's the second game she's done that on a 9 ball where she's been real close to the pocket, and just not getting the cue ball going on the right line.
There he is.
There, who is?
The first one of the night, little monkey boy.
Oh, the monkey boy? My stream is stopping. My stream is just not doing good today, and it normally does.
And this is the momentum breaker. Getting back to 5-4, and then you scratch, and then Spectredawn comes in and runs the table, bumping the 6. Not a problem. That'll hold him for the 3.
Yeah, a little surprised he didn't get cupped down a little further. I guess he was a little worried about the 6 hooking him.
Wow. What match was it the other night there where I can't even remember who was playing, but they could not get back in touch. They were behind at the start, and they were behind all through the match. They got to within a couple of racks. Somebody will know. Somebody will have been paying attention. Now, I hope for LS3's sake it doesn't go that way. Almost right on his shoulders there, and then he's going to open it to 2 again.
Well, you know, with that breaking ball in hand on a table, it looks pretty good. That Spectredawn's probably running out almost every time.
Yeah, he's just very unlikely to fail unless a disaster happens.
Yeah, when he's playing in this kind of rhythm, you know, he's pretty deadly. He just doesn't do a lot of silly things with the cue ball. And that's one of the reasons why he's got the consistency that he does. It's just, you know, if you avoid doing silly things with a cue ball, then you never have really bad situations.
So, rack number 11. Seven and 5 follow each other in. And no shot in the one.
Yep, did not come up good with the one ball.
Now, this is probably going to be a push.
Oh yeah, I'm pushing every time. I'm probably just pushing over here to about the second diamond so you can shoot just by the 6. I would never push there. That's just way too easy a bank shot. I would have pushed on the other side of the 6 ball up on the rail.
Well,
this is something that you know, it's not guaranteed position on the 2 ball. That's the only negative I can say about this.
Now she needs a roll, and I think she's got it. I think she most certainly has. The 8 balls come into play. Yep. And that's the sort of lucky roll you need. You know, table would have been done and dusted here for Spectredawn had he been able to pot that one. And I dare say it could have finished worse for him as well. I mean, this obviously cuts.
Well, this is a pretty easy safety if she wants to play safe. We'll see what she decides to do.
Well, she's got left English on this.
Yeah, she's going to cut this.
Needs to come down left side of the 4.
See, I don't like the shot that much because it's just, I don't think this shot's that guaranteed.
Yeah, that's gone the real way too soon. Now well, the left English didn't really take great effect.
No, she sort of got away with it. I mean, this is a pretty easy kick safe. 2 rails behind the 1, kick the 1 past the 8. You know.
Yeah, you don't want to be hitting this full on. You want to hit it from the back.
Yeah, this is the weak part of Spectre's game, though.
Yeah, well, if you could do that, though, take care of that problem.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
That's the one way to deal with kick shots. Oh, well, this is well into bedhead territory.
Well, I think Zach preferred, but I don't think this is too bad.
Well, if this rack goes the way it looks as if it's going, well, again, it's going to have to be a toughish cut.
Yeah, it's getting tougher every time. You can cut this to the right if you want. I think it's less of a sellout, but he's going to cut it the other way and hang it up.
Oh, wiped it sweet and it's hung up.
I would have cut it. I would have cut it in the other corner just because you can play a 2-way shot there. You know, you hit it so that if you're going to miss it, you're going to overcut it and bring the cue ball 2 or 3 rails back down where it's behind the 6. And, you know, if you miss, you're probably at worst giving him a tough shot and maybe got him snookered. So LS3 should be able to take advantage of that.
I'm now up to, I think it's 603 subscribers. Only what 397 to go to get to 1,000, and then I'm in the money.
Yeah, well, you know, Spectredawn is making enough mistakes that LS3 is hanging around, and that's going to bite him if he keeps going this way.
I say this often enough. You know, it's all about, you know, Spectredawn being the favourite, but it's all about how deep into this match LS3 sticks with him. And when it gets to that point, you know, when it gets to the, you know, within 4 racks, 5 racks of the end, then it's squeaky bum time for either of them, but more so for Spectredawn.
Okay, he played the right shot, but he played it poorly.
Well,
and, you know,
same again, isn't it? That's poor.
Well, I mean, this is the thing, is that if your opponent breaks and leaves him an open shot, an open table, he's going to run out. But the weakness of his game is if he gets in these situations where he's got to do something like play safe, you know, he doesn't do it well. And
he's going to do well with this.
That's what's going to keep LS3 in the game. Yeah, I mean, this didn't come out good for her. I mean, you got to expect he's going to make this one. And a reasonable chance he's going to get on the 2-ball too.
Oh, he might be on top of it. He might be on top of it. Oh well. Oh, here's another test. Is he going for the blast cut, the stub cut?
Yeah, if you're going to cut this, I think he's going to catch a piece of the 5, which he needs to. You know, not if you're going to shove it into the rail.
Now, the 5-ball does go past the 6. Now, the problem's obviously the 3. Yeah, LS3 has to make her mind up here.
This shot on VP is a little tricky. What I would do is I would hit this with some draw and left English. It's kind of a spin shot, and try to pull it back up past the 3-ball.
Yeah.
Where, you know, you can shoot the 3 in the side or the corner, or, you know, you can't just use English and get up high enough to shoot this, I don't think. So you're going to have to draw it some.
She looks as if she's going to
hit it harder.
I mean, the way she's aiming the cue ball looks as if she's wanting to get straight on it for the 3-8 combo. Yep,
yeah, that is what she's doing. And that's probably
not bad
too. I mean, the shape the other way was tricky.
Well, I mean, it's not perfect. It's like 2 inches to the right of being perfect, or 2 inches too far to the right of being perfect. But again, I mean, take her time. She should be good odds to get this. Oh, it just dropped.
Yeah, that was crawling over the edge.
But again, the main thing that took that in there was just the dead weight pace. Give it every chance.
Well, I mean, this
watch this 6-ball.
Pretty simple.
Well,
that's
going to have to come up with another one in a minute.
You know, she could have drawn that. She could have drawn that ball across. She didn't need to go behind it.
Well, again, if she can get in a good line, she's not going to have a problem with this.
Yeah, no, just play past the side pocket.
That'll do it. That'll do it. Couldn't have played it any better. That's exactly where you want to be, staring it right down. Nice little dink. Keep the 5-ball there. 5-ball's not going to go anywhere, it's dead straight. Well, this is a bit of a bonus pinch here for LS3.
She is a combo queen, isn't she?
Well, for the first time since the start of the match, we've got a level playing field here.
Yeah. And she's hanging in there. She's not always making it look easy, but she's getting out.
And she was 5-1 down, remember. So this is what it's about, hanging in there.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, that's the problem with having a game like Spectredawn has, is that when things are going good and you're getting a lot of good-looking tables, you know, you just drill people. and when things aren't going good and you're coming to the table and things are clogged up and you can't run out, then, you know, he doesn't have the moving game to play those kind of tables. And that's really his weakness. So it makes him dangerous in the sense that, you know, he can beat anybody if things are going his way. But I think it's going to make him hard to win this tournament, because when he has matches where things don't go his way, you know, he doesn't have the game to handle that.
Well, no prizes for guessing where this cue ball should be finishing.
Yeah, I mean...
Now, she's putting left English on this. What's she doing?
I don't know.
Well, that could be one way, as long as it misses the 8. But it's going to bump the 8. And it's...
That was a tough way. I mean...
I would have went 2, 3 rails there and ducked in the corner.
Yeah, it wasn't an automatic, but, you know, you were going to leave the 2 ball exposed, but it certainly would have been a better chance.
Oh, that's a heck of a lot better than what it looked like 30 seconds ago. Now, you can't get the cut in this, though. I don't think so. Now, here we go with the attempted safety, because I don't think he can get the cut in it. He can cut the other way, but he can't cut it into the nearest pocket.
This is kind of a tricky safe.
In fact, it won't cut either, because that's way too tight. It's going to catch the 8.
It's either a little stun run and run it an inch, or it's draw the cue ball against the side rail and back out. This is not an easy safe. Even though those balls are close together, this is not that easy a safety shot, because you have to hit a real touch shot to get it on 8. He's not sure what to do. Now, he could bank this straight back down the table, which is maybe what he tried to do.
He played a little billiard there. That worked.
Maybe he played the billiard. Yeah, I'm not sure whether he's playing the bank or the billiard.
Well, the answer to that then is no, because he says sorry in the stream, in the chat.
Okay, so he was trying to bank the 3 ball and billiard the 8 ball in. Well, you know, it's 9 ball. You're going to get some rolls.
So Spectredawn defended his lead.
Well, both these players pop balls really well. I mean, I think Spectredawn's got a little better pattern play, but, you know, they both pop balls well.
Oh yes, interchange X. Yep, I do that all the time in Cowboy.
I just did the commentator curse.
What was that? Oh, he's hung. I'm looking at the 9. I'm thinking, well, the 9 looks easy to me. I didn't even notice the 7 hadn't gone in. I was looking at the chat.
I was saying how well they both pop balls, and he dogged it.
Well, there you go. I mean, I'd given it to Spectredawn, and now from 5-1 down, she's not missing this.
No,
now this for the lead. Well, maybe Spectredawn is feeling that little bit of a pinch now, even this early in the match.
He might have gone a little goofy. She's sticking with the break from straight in the middle. She has raised the butt some, so she's trying to pop it, and she got the pop.
And now she's got a ball.
That changes things quite a bit, you know, doing that little pop. And I'm not talking about just what the cue ball does. I'm talking about what the rack does, because it changes how the cue ball flies.
Well, this is going to be a quick rack. I can't believe she's going to try and get on the other side of the 3. I mean, if you get good on this too, you've got a 3-9 that you'd be.
Well, you'd almost always.
I mean, you can't be missing it.
Always play it, because if you get straight on the 2, you can just hit a stop shot and you're on it.
I think that's what she. Well, she looks as if she's at the moment running forward.
I don't know why you would do that. There she goes.
No, she's killing it. Yeah. No.
Well, she pulled it back a little, so she just made it a lot tougher. All she needed to do is stop it.
Now that 6 ball, would that 6 ball be handy?
The 6 ball is a helper.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect helper.
Not quite, yep.
Because you can overcut this 9 ball still, but it's close to me in a perfect helper. I mean, you could play it into the 6. Just play it with some speed. It's going to take speed for it to be a helper. If you hit this easy, I don't think it'll go if it hits the 6.
Oh, well, that was nowhere near it. Where's the 9 going? Hang on. No. Oh.
Well, she got really good on the 2 and then just
just came.
poor shot
You know,
there.
she just came back. She didn't get the kill in the cue ball. She actually got too much of the stun in it, and it came back. The stun draw slightly. If we're going to be ultra critical, now is he gone far enough
I'm
for
not
this
sure
score?
what he was trying to do there, but
Combo.
now you're relying on the fact that you can pop balls well.
Interchange X says combo queen title revoked.
Well, I mean, really, all you got to do is make this.
He's done it again. Oh, he almost flipped the 9.
Well, I don't know if he was thinking about the 9 or not. I mean, you really don't want to play the 9 there. You just want to run out.
We might have to re-award this combo title Interchange X, because I think, is this going in off the jaw? I think it'll go in off the jaw without the combo.
It will, but you got it. Yeah, you're going to be a thin cut on the 5 because you can't hit this hard.
This has got to be sweet. Yeah, watch the cue ball. That'll do it.
Yeah, that's good enough. And the good thing about this kind of situation is all you really got to do is make the 5 ball. Getting on the 6 is, really just speed.
Well, I know what I'd be doing. I'd be up the table, back down into the table. I wouldn't be trying to be cute here.
Oh no, I'd especially in real life, you're going to hit this.
Anywhere in this left-hand side of the table, even if you're back down in the rail, you've still got a sight in 6, so you don't want to try and get too cute.
Well,
this might be cute.
Well, she drew the ball, which I don't get. She almost got herself in trouble drawing the ball there. If you are going to try to, change the line a little, English is better in that situation than draw.
Yeah. A little feather just to change the line of it slightly.
The only time I hit those kind of shots where I'm not trying to roll the cue ball is if I'm trying to slow the speed down. Like if you hit center ball or a little blow it on a thin cut, you can slow the cue ball down some. And you wouldn't do that in VP, but in real life, a lot of times it's like, I want to put like this medium speed stroke on it because it's more reliable but the cue ball is going to run a little too far, and then you just go down on a little, just take a little speed off of it.
Well, if you look at this match, if it had just started and forget the first 6 racks, then at the moment it's 7-1 to LS3.
Well, I mean, she's not making too many mistakes, and Spectredawn has made a bushel full already. I mean, it's pretty amazing how.
Well, look at the 9. Look at the 9. This rack's over quick.
Yeah, that did not go in.
Now,
no balls.
Is Spectredawn going for the thin cut? He's got to go for it. He's got to give it a smack. And I don't think he can miss this. You just give it a good smack, get the line.
Yeah, I mean, you got to play it with the 1 ball. Trying to play with the cue ball would be insane.
Yeah, never a problem. So that was quick.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Worst possible finish from a break.
Lots of things have gone wrong for Spectredawn too. I mean, that's.
Well, he got a little roll there. Seven ball, 2 ball flies in.
Yeah, this table looks real good. So
1 ball. Yeah, this is over.
He's probably out here. Hard to mess this one up.
So he's going to get rid of this 2 rack deficit immediately here. At least he should do it. He's going to go to that point again. This is another one of these.
Well, the good news is he doesn't really have to do a whole lot with the cue ball. The bad news is that we've seen him miss a bunch of shots, like some of them weren't even this difficult. So when you're struggling a little, this is not the shot you want to come up with, especially when the table was easy. So he can cut this and come back and run into the 6, which I don't really like. You can go past it, but you got to be a little careful speed-wise. And he ran into the 6 and got away with it. I mean, bad things can happen running into that ball. I'm not sure what he's doing here.
6 into the side.
Just a simple thing. That's a good shot. He shouldn't be going down off the end rail here. And this is just line. You just want to make sure you get the right line off the rail. And that'll work.
So the 9 ball, I don't think is tight.
No, he shouldn't have any trouble with that. I mean, it's far enough off the rail. He's straight enough that this should be no problem. I still would always hit this kind of shot. I would roll the shot with a little bit of left English just to take the throw out of it. Now, he didn't put any English on it, but I would always put a little English on that shot. Especially in real life, just because, you know, you get a little piece of dirt or something, and next thing you know, the ball's thrown into the rail.
So we start all over again. 4 ball eventually goes in. Shot in the 1. 2's over the side. 3 ball. Well,
yeah, here we go. Well, as quickly as you know, we were saying he hasn't got anything going because he's been getting tough tables. Now all of a sudden he's getting easy tables.
Well, I don't think he'll be playing for the 3 past 8. I think he'll find a different way of doing that, I would imagine.
There's a lot of pocket there. I mean, there's a lot of he can play that. There's a lot of pocket there.
Yeah, I mean, if he was in the line that he's on at the moment to the 3, yes, it'd be good. But if he's not in a good line on it, it's not quite as simple.
Well, he should be, given where he is now. He should get on the 2 good and get a pretty good line on the 3. And, you know, the thing is where the 5 is, you know, trying to play for a different pocket. Well, he got funny on the 2.
Yeah, he's having to run away.
Yeah, he got funny on the 2. Now it's going to start getting tough.
No.
I mean, the thing is you immediately went and looked at the 3. I immediately went and looked at the 3. I'm assuming Spectredawn did that, but if you're looking at that 3 ball, then you're going, well, I've got to get on this 2 here.
Yeah.
And either he didn't do that or he just hit a terrible shot on the 1 because he wasn't, you know, he was at least a foot short of where he needed
exactly.
to be.
Again, that's exactly my point about thinking ahead. You know where you have to be, so you have to get there. And I don't think he's got away with that. I think there might be enough of this 3 ball showing. Let's have a look. Yes, there is. That'll do.
And the first thing I do after a break is I look at the table and I figure out how I'm going to win. Could be playing a combo, could be playing safe, could be running out. And then as part of that, I'm looking for trouble balls.
Yeah, it's all autopilot, that stuff, Steve, though. You know,
where are the trouble balls? And then, you know, you figure out how to play back from that trouble ball. You decide, am I going to just make these 3 balls and then get here and play safe? Or am I going to try to break something out? Or, you know, you should have a plan right from the start.
You're saying everything. You're saying everything that I would rattle into the sort of lower-rated players that watch this, and that's exactly what you should be doing. You break the balls, and so you get the road map in your head. If the table looks fine and there isn't problems, then you have the road map of where you're going. If there's problems, then how do you deal with that problem? Now, this is all before you've hit a shot. Oh dear.
Boy. Well, I will say this, though. I don't think the lower-ranked players can do this that effectively. I think you got to be a pretty good player. And the reason why I say this is
it's the moving the ball thing.
To be able to look at the table quickly and see the run out, you've got to have good pattern play. You've got to, you know, understand how to move the cue ball. I mean, I can literally look at most tables and, you know, 5 seconds, maybe 10 at the worst. You know, I already got the whole table.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't played a lot of pool and your pattern play isn't that strong, then the problem is you're not sure how to move from this ball to that ball and that ball to that ball. And, it takes a lot of thinking, and it's slow. And, realistically,
but don't,
if you're trying to do that, you're probably not a run out player anyways, and it doesn't matter as much.
Yeah, but don't you think that it's, I agree with everything you've said, but I'm talking about sort of basic discipline. The learning process is all part of that, and how you then learn to move that cue ball and control that cue ball better. But I still think, even for the lesser players who don't have maybe the skills that they're required to move that cue ball, that's part of their learning process. But I still think it's good to be thinking about what you're doing. And maybe it might just be simple shots about rolling a ball where you're leaving yourself the shot on a ball. It might not be quite as simple, but you've still got a pot, and then work your way up from that. I don't know what's the best advice.
Yeah, you can do some things. I think it depends on your level. I mean, for lesser players that can't run racks and 9-ball, I mean, honestly, it's probably better to play 6-ball. But anybody can look and identify trouble balls where they're clustered. Now, there are situations in pool where there could be balls sitting out in the middle of the table, and if you just looked at it casually, you'd think, oh, that's no problem. Whereas that could be a real problem ball.
Yeah.
Because depending on the balls before it and the ball after it, it may be very difficult to get in a spot where you can, get shape on the next ball. I mean, I've seen this come up where ball's in the middle of the table, and it's a very difficult run out because of the balls before and after that.
The pattern to get there and what's left after the one that you've potted. Yeah. I mean, this is all the annoying thing about this bloody game is finding your way through those situations. But again, it's part of the enjoyment of it is learning it, and this is what every player should be aspiring to do. It's up to the player though. That's up to them if they want to be better. You have to be thinking a bit more. All of the stuff Steve's talking about, and that in itself can make you a better player. You might want to ask them, well, how do you do it? Simple things like what does right English do for me in this shot? This cut in the two. What does left English do in that shot? And I think some of the lower rated players, maybe they're scared to ask. I don't know, but I see a lot of players who, overnight could be far better players if they maybe approached it in a different way. Some of them come up with the excuse, I play for fun. Well, you play for fun, but you still want to be able to string 2 or 3 balls one after the other, and take yourself to that that next level. But it is down to the individual as to how far they think they can go and whether they're capable of putting time in to learn, because that's a big factor. Not everybody's Spectredawn. Well, there you go, LS3. That's something you can't do. Trailing by 1 and about to be trailing by 2 again. So we are halfway home. We've been playing for an hour and 6 minutes. Well, dead weight cut this. It's going to be in bedhead territory again. That is definitely bedhead territory. Now, Steve's either on a call.
No, I was looking to see if I had this picture. I took a picture. I remember a one table where I'm like, this table looks easy, and it's not. But I don't think... Can I drag and drop something over to...
Perfect angle, says Bedhead. Well, there you go, Bedhead. You never ever thought when you played VP4 you'd end up being adorned with the title or the handle of having the Bedhead cut as a terminology in VP4. There you go. That one I awarded to you. You certainly earned it, I'll tell you that.
Well, let's see if she tries to play safe here. I don't think she is, but, I mean, this is a little tricky because of the 3 ball.
Yeah, I mean, now does the 3 go into the side? Let's have a look. Yes, it does, I think. I think it does.
I don't know about that. I think it may go in the corner. I don't know about the side.
No. See, again, you first glance, you would say that goes in the side, but when you get right down to it and you look at, I think it might go in the side. I still think it might go.
It doesn't look to me like it does, but maybe it's close. I mean,
that's
I
really,
thought
really
she
close.
should have played safe, and I guess she finally decided she did.
Well,
because I don't think that goes in the side. It's close.
It looks really, really tight.
We may find out here.
You step back from it, it looks as if it goes in the side, and then when you get right down, it's right. You know, that's a touching ball in any other way of describing it.
Yeah, this is the bad situation. I mean, I think the kick he played was the right one because it was the greatest chance of getting this.
Well, that's a good result.
He had different ways he could kick. That was a good way, and the speed he hit it was good because you had to get the 1 ball out of there because there was no cover.
It can be jumped though because this is going over the edge of the 4 as well as obviously the 2 blocking balls.
Oh boy, if you jump it over the 4, there's a good chance it's going off the table.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were jumping just over the blocking and trying to hit the rail, maybe. Going over this 4 is tough.
She got it shallow to get a bit more distance.
I'm not saying it can't be done, but it's like whenever balls are near the rail,
didn't go over the 5.
The problem is if you know, all it has to do is like, let's say it bounces and then it hits the 1 up above, towards the top of it, the cue ball is going off the table.
Steve, I've got news for you. That 3 goes into the side now.
Yeah, now it definitely goes.
She landed in the 5, potted the 5, and the 3's wide open now.
So, I mean, it's not a gimme table. I mean, the 6 balls in a bad
6 balls, no going anywhere, no.
And, you got to be thinking about how am I going to do this? Now, she's maybe got an angle she can move the 6 here. I don't know. This is probably no good because, she was able to move it.
Spectredawn's at the table, Steve.
Sorry.
Pig, are you not paying attention to this match, or are you just sort of walking out of the room and coming back 20 minutes later and finding out that we've reached this stage?
he must. Well, he couldn't have hit that any harder because any harder than it would have hit the 7 ball. I mean, he barely missed the 7, so that was the most he was going to get for movement on the 6.
Well,
and
6 is fine.
I don't know if it's enough. Does it go by there?
Yeah,
I think it will.
It goes by, but you've just got to get it sweet past the 9. You know, if you... Well, that takes care of that problem.
He may not thought it was such an easy shot, because I think he tried to run into it on purpose there.
Well, that'll do it. He's staring it right down into the corner.
Yeah, and this is just, it's a perfect angle to slide over and shoot the 7 in the same one. He didn't get much slide, but he's still okay. This is just a little funny because if you roll it, it wants to go to the 8 ball, and you can't just stun it or it goes in the side. So you have to kind of little stun run almost and get it to go up past the side pocket. I guess you could roll this with left English and kill the cue ball. He may be able to roll it and kill it anyways. Yeah, he didn't have to put any English on it.
Well, LS3 is going to be trailing by 3 again. Now, she's got to get a response in fairly soon.
Well, she needs to hope that Spectredawn, breaks dry or doesn't have any kind of good shot. Because they already seen that, if he has to move, he's not good at it. So, it's going to give her opportunities. And really, it's the same way vice versa. She doesn't move that good. So,
cue ball.
Yep, there we go. There's the opportunity. What we're seeing between these two players is when they get tables like this, they run out. And when they get tables where there's more trouble involved, where they can't run out, they struggle.
Right. Well, I mean, there's no problem getting to the 3. Now, what does she want to do here? I mean, stun the 1 in up with the 2, leave the angle on the 2 to miss any sort of traffic.
Yeah, I would just.
She's playing the combo in the 6, or thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure I do that, but you want to leave yourself an angle where you can back cut the 2 like this.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And then, you know, you just don't want to hit the 5. You know, if you come a little high in the 3 ball, you're fine. I mean, she's got plenty of room to get down low. You just, if you're going to err, you're going to err on the side of not hitting the 5 ball. And that was playing a little too safe, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, that was way up there.
Well, she's got.
When I said a little high, I didn't mean there.
She's got to just chip a coat of paint off of this 3 ball and get behind the 5 and 9 up table. Very light feather.
She can go side to side here too if she wants. She's going to go the feather route. I think that was a good
going.
choice. Probably the easiest
going.
shot. Did she not get there? I think she did, didn't she?
Yep, she's got there.
Yeah. So this, you can kick in behind it, and that is way easy. I mean, that was the line you wanted. Just you need to kick it with some speed. You try to get the cue ball to sit there and actually go back to the middle a little.
Look at the line the 3 ball took. If it hits there with pace, you know, with more pace on it, it's coming down to here. Maybe LS3 would have had a sort of half-hearted 3-6 combo, but it wouldn't be quite as easy as this.
Well, I mean, if you hit it hard, you got a chance to move the cue ball back behind the 5 and 9.
Yeah, I thought for a second there that 3 ball's going to catch the point of the side pocket.
Well, I think she's going to be out here.
Well, she's going to run into the 8, I think, but I don't think it'll do any problem, will it?
This depends on the speed. This depends on the speed.
Yeah, it might go behind the 8 here.
I don't think she's going to hit the 8. I think she's going to go behind it. You got to hit it hard enough to come back out. And if it does run into it because you're hitting it a little harder, then that's not the end of the world. You just can't afford to hit this easy and end up behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, she hit it with plenty of pace.
I say that's fine. It's bumped to 9. No harm done.
Yeah, that would have been a little unlucky there if it locked up on the 9.
So the rest is elementary, my dear Watson.
Well, she really needs this game. Being down by 3 at this point.
Well, running into the 9 wouldn't do any harm. It's missed it, but again, you know, obviously where the cue ball's going now, you don't want to come up the table and hook yourself behind the 9. I mean, that would be a proper numpty shot.
No, you've got to make a decision here on how you're going to move it. I'd probably make sure that I went behind it.
That's fine.
That's well done.
So, just stemming the tide a little bit here. Now again, as I keep repeating, you're looking for the follow-up rack. You know, this little rack here is no good if you can't get yourself that follow-up, a ball and a shot and a run-out if you can't. It just gives you that wee bit of momentum again.
Well, you know, you're not always going to get that, but if you...
It's all you're hoping for. You can always pray.
Well, if you make a ball and you have a shot, then that's when you play safe. I mean, that's why that's so important. You're not always going to make a ball and have a shot. You know, you hope you don't make nothing and give a sellout break where you give them a shot. As long as you make a ball or you break with it, you know, they have to push out. You know, you still can keep control of it. It's only the dry break sellout that's the problem.
You mean a bit like this? Oh, well, the 1 ball doesn't go. It's definitely dry.
I wouldn't call this a sellout, but I mean, there's definitely some opportunity here. I mean, the combination for starters.
Well, he's looking to nail to the 9. And again, he's got a touch like a sledgehammer.
Yeah, and he gave up the combination here. I mean, that 1-6 combo goes.
You know, that little finesse, the finesse and touch side, that's where Slim's got the advantage there.
Yeah.
You
Now
know,
the key here is getting a shot on the one ball. You've got to hit this in a way that you come up with a shot. Well, that didn't even make the ball. That wasn't even close.
I'm not convinced what that was there, whether it was an attempt at the combo or just an attempt to get away from the one ball.
Like safe, I think she's playing a
Maybe
combo and just
if it
really
was the combo, then it was so bad it looked like a safety.
So this situation's kind of tough, really. I mean, it looks easy, but getting on the 2-ball is not guaranteed.
And it's coming past the 3. That's a good start.
We're lucky to get that. I mean, that was a tough shot to get on the 2, and he's really lucky to end up hooked. So the 2-ball does cut in the side, and let's see how he decides to get on this 3. You got some options. You can hit it with right English and try to hold it. Maybe hit it with right English and actually come back up and shoot it either in this corner or come back up and shoot it in the same side the 2's going in. If you let it run, it's going to be coming pretty much at the 5-ball, which might not be a bad thing. Now he's been thin enough to get past the 5, and this is going to work. That's a nice shot.
Now, is he going in the side pocket past the 5, or is he going up in the corner?
I think he'll go up in the corner. I don't know why you would shoot this on the side. It's so easy in the corner. He's going to let a stroke out a little there, too. He could have just rolled out. He decided he wanted a different angle. Didn't want to have to mess with coming back at that angle.
Now, Cobra must be working early tomorrow or something. I haven't seen Cobra in the chat. I'm surprised that he isn't around, spying on his possible next opponent, because that's who the winner of this match is going to play next in round 4. Although I think he's seen enough of the 2 of them not to.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
I think he knows exactly what he's getting. And he knows that he's going to have to up his game. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen Cobra make as many errors.
So have any of you guys tried the drills?
I tried one. Didn't like the shitty table. The pockets were too big. Didn't like the crap cue.
I changed the tables. I didn't change the crap cue on those, but most of them have a good cue. All the ones semi-pro did have a good cue.
Yeah,
the table's been changed.
I'll look at those. So we're back to a 3-lat deficit here.
Yeah, I mean this situation is going to get dire if she doesn't catch back up.
Well, immediate chance, except for where that 7-ball has just finished, because that 3-ball was wide open until that happened.
Well, she can just keep the cue ball here, draw it back so it's against the long rail, and go behind that 3-ball and shoot it in the same pocket as the 2. That's what I'd be looking at here. She could go forward and do the same thing. She just wants to keep the cue ball on the side rail, and that's not really the best place for it. Too straight. She wanted to be on the side rail because it was easy to get to the 3-ball from there. It's still doable, but it's a lot trickier.
Now, I mean, if you're trying to get a collision here, you could end up hooking yourself.
But there goes. That's the thing that I was talking about originally. Is she just whams at balls sometimes, and that was a good example of it. Is that instead of trying to play the precision shot behind it, she slams at it, which even if she hit it was going to require some luck. Well, I guess she's going to save her luck for that shot. Wow. Well, it was. Yeah. Didn't play a smart shot on the 3.
just can make that little difference, you know. Great opportunity just to nip it back by one.
I think a lot of times players don't have confidence they can move the cue ball precisely enough to get to a ball like that. And that's where, you know, doing the drills will really help you, because it'll teach you to move the cue ball with precision. Because, like, I know in real life that I would have got on that 3 ball probably 90% of the time, or I was good on it. Because,
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Oh dear.
oh boy. Well, here we go, kicking again. She needs some more luck.
Oh dear.
Well, that's not going to do it.
There goes that chance. And that's the type of rack that hurts. You know, you've got the fluke. It's all very well maybe feeling a bit guilty you got the fluke, but then not to take full advantage of it and get yourself into that hole. Big fail.
Yeah, well, that was just an
Considering all the room there was on the table to get on that. Again, you've got to take the danger ball out of the equation. You've got to see that. And I'm sure she's not that daft. She didn't see the problem. Don't be cute and try and get into the middle of the table. It's the safest place.
It could have just been a little jerky stroke or something, and all of a sudden, kabam. Just hit it too hard.
It's amazing how these things just pop out and grab you. The one thing you didn't want to do.
The thing is people inherently aren't perfect. They make mistakes, and that's what makes pool difficult, because, you know, the high level pool's a game of who doesn't make as many mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going against human nature already. Human nature is making mistakes.
Well, she's been given an opportunity here to redeem herself immediately. Scratch the break, ball in hand. Well, 1-2. So the big problem's getting good in that too, to get up for this 4-ball, presumably in the right side.
Yeah, I think you're going to want to draw the cue ball right by the 8-ball, and I mean, that's, you know, this you just stop shot and then draw the cue ball up past the 8-ball. She's got a little angle. I wouldn't even do that. I would just stop it, just make sure.
Well, bear in mind she's got ball in hand, you know.
Well, she just drew it back. I mean, this will still work, but I would have rather had a little straighter angle. I think it would have been a little easier to control the speed. Because now you can't. This is a little touchier now.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah, see, that's what I don't get. She could have just shot a stop shot straight in the side and been pretty good. She's going to try to go the other way, which works. But you know, there's danger of hitting the 8-ball if you don't get far enough. The 5-6 are in the way. If you go too far, you don't have a good shot on the 4. So I mean, this is certainly no guarantee of getting on it here. I mean, I know for me personally in real life that I'm not that guaranteed to get on that ball. I mean, well, she rolled up good where she can play safe.
Yeah, can use the 8-ball as a stopper and get the stun to get in behind the 5 and 6.
You got to be a little careful here that you don't make a ball like the 8 or the 4.
She's looking at the pot.
Yeah, you know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with shooting this if you're confident in it.
Cue ball's got to get up the table and over.
Especially if your safety game isn't that strong.
Oh no,
now, she's going low on it, which I don't get. I guess she's going to try to play the 5 in the side.
That's a good shot. That's well done. Yeah. That's excellent. The confidence to play that shot, you know, that's always a good sign.
Well, it's you know, you're weighing this versus a safety. You know, if you move good, the safety is almost automatic, and you would just do that. But you know, if you don't move good, then you know maybe you're not so sure you can get the safety. Then you know you like the shot better. You're going to shoot that.
I mean, that's positive as well, though. I mean, she could have easily ducked there, but you know, looking at the scoreboard, she's 13-9 behind. And she decided that the one way to make the scoreboard change is to take the initiative herself and dig out the run out, and that's well done. You know,
well, given it's about even odds between playing safe and shooting the ball, you know, I mean, I'm almost always shooting the ball because you know, I'd rather do something more positive like that. Plus, if you let your opponent to the table, they could fluke it in or kick safe, or, you know, all kinds of things can happen. So you're better off shooting a shot if there's, you know, any kind of doubt between the two.
So it starts all over again. 2 ball goes in, something went into the side. I don't know what it was. Was it the 7? It might have been the 7. A bank on the 1. Perfect bank on the 1.
I
But
think
you got to run the cue ball.
You almost have to shoot the bank on the 1.
You've got to run the cue ball, haven't you? Or do you leave?
You bring the cue ball out towards the center. That's all.
Yeah.
You just follow it and come back out. It's not a difficult shot.
It's in all the way and exactly where you want to be. Well, almost. I think it's fine.
No, she's okay. It was going to be hard to leave that short.
So up past the 8 ball or bump the 8. We'll leave a little bit of cut in the 4, but up past the 8.
I would be going inside here. She's going outside. I don't like outside here.
It needs to keep going. It needs to run. It's got to have the legs. It's just got the legs. She's just got the legs, I think.
I would have hit that with inside for sure and run the cue ball at 8. The shot she played was kind of tricky, and she almost didn't get away with it.
Now, the 5 ball goes past the 6. I mean, I'm looking at how much of the 4 ball she's digging in to come back. Now, it might be just to get across to this side to squeeze that past. That's not bad.
No, that's very good. I mean, because that's a touch shot, because you're kind of you're spinning the ball, but you're not, you know, drawing it hard. It's kind of like that little soft draw shot, and it's very speed dependent. I mean, that was very well played. Yeah, I mean, you'd be super happy to get the cue ball to that spot. Yeah, and I think that's one of the shots to me that's hard in VP, is that kind of soft little drag draw, because it's, you know, if you get the speed wrong on it, it doesn't go well. It comes up short or goes flying down the table. Well, she's doing what she needs to do to get back in this match.
So straight in 9 ball to get back to within 2.
Ideally, you know, you want to be within a couple coming down later in the match. She's got it to 2 now. I'll tell you, the break hasn't been great for either one of them. I mean, it hasn't been horrible, but neither one has broke particularly well. Not compared to some of the other matches.
Center break, ball in the break into the corner. 1 ball is hanging, and she can see it.
Got a shot. Yeah.
Well, this is well, we're not going to say anything about this, are we? Are we going to state the obvious here, Steve?
No, we don't need to. I mean, it's.
We don't want to curse her either.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. And I think this is the place where she's really improved, is on these kind of tables. She just doesn't mess them up as much as she used to.
Well, you might have just said the cut. You might have just said the curse there. No, she's fine. I was worried. I was worried about that 6 ball there.
You know, she's that tendency to shoot crazy shots is that I spoke about is much less than it used to be. I mean, she's definitely improved a lot.
Yeah.
Just, you know, she's keeping herself under control. The cue ball, you know, here has been pretty tight. This is the key shot. I don't like being straight in on this 5, because you need to get on the 6 good to make sure that you're going to get on the 7.
Oh, that's fine. There's a slight angle there. That's good enough. Well, she's going to leave the VP4 shot. Just roll it through, leave it at distance.
And this is fine. But you get a little further out from the rail, and all of a sudden it's not fine. What I'm saying is that you know, there comes a point, this is the ball in the rack, where you have to get on this ball reasonably well, or it becomes difficult. she's managed to do that. She's just going to follow this down to the end rail, I think.
Yeah, leave the angle outside the 7 ball, like that, and then you can just push through and come around 2 rails, 3 rails, or whatever. I mean, does she want to dig in and stun this in?
Yeah, I think she's going to stun it and shoot the 8 in either the side or the corner down here. I don't think she's going to go forward.
Yeah, I would. She's doing it. She's got the top on it, I think. I mean, 99.9% odds she's going to have a decent shot in the 8.
The reason why I don't like going forward here is the ball's going to open out. And she's just going to roll this, I think. I don't think she's going around.
She's digging in.
She's going down.
Well,
and even hitting it like that, it was going to be hard to lose because as long as you came back, if you came back on the other side of it, I mean, you've got 4 or 5 pockets it goes in. So now this, you just got to decide whether you're going to soft draw it or go up and down. I think that's a safer choice.
Well, that'll do, but you don't want to trifle with the 9 ball. But she's won a rack, then she's ran 2, I think, is the order of the day in the last 3 racks.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, I mean, she's handled the pressure well. I mean, I think she's made some mistakes, but I think that's sort of the level of her games at some of those decision mistakes. I mean, she's handled the pressure very well.
Well, now she's done the hard work there, and it's come up dry, and she'll be glad to see that 9 ball just got brushed past the side pocket there.
Yeah, you got to decide whether you're going to play safer or not. I kind of like just bumping the...
just feathering the 1, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, could have done with missing that 3 ball.
Yeah, I was thinking of going the other way with the cue ball on that side instead of the 1 because, this is just too easy. Now, she's got a chance to roll this up on the 7 if she hits this right.
Need the left English.
Yeah. And that shot was actually kind of tricky to get it to roll up. That was a little bit tricky. That was, it was harder than it looked. It's one of those real subtle little shots where if you're off the line a little, it does what it just did.
Well, I think this rack is heading to Spectredawn because you got 2, 3, 4, not a problem, 5 down the rail, 6 up to the corner pocket, come back into the table for the 7. Well, the 7 could be a bit tricky. Bear in mind where the 8 ball is. I mean, you've got to get nice on this 7.
Well, you can always shoot the combo. I mean, the combo's pretty
easy.
The
combo's dead set. Once the 5's out the way.
Where that is, I might just... Depends on how I got on the 6. Where he's sitting, I would just roll this and then play to get on the combo. He's going to play more angle, so that means he's coming back.
Yeah.
But, this isn't bad because, look, you can be all the way, to the end rail down here and you're fine.
Well, that's where you want.
There's actually a lot of room.
That's where you really want to be, as long as you're dropping it in and rolling up for or going to the top rail and back up, back into the table for the 8. See, he's slightly the wrong. He hasn't got into it enough, so that's what I'm talking about. He's now going to have to maybe left English and come over. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, this is still fine. It's not a hard shot. I mean, he got back far enough because you don't want to pull it back and scratch in the corner pocket. I mean, that would be the chimpanzee coming out.
Well, it's. I think I'm getting an incredible sense here telling me we're heading to deep into this match here. We might be heading all the way.
Hugh, you're that chimpanzee. You're going to make everybody paranoid of chimps. They're not going to want to go to the zoo. I mean, it's like everybody's going to be scared of seeing the chimp. Now let's see what happens here on this break. I mean, see if you can get some momentum going.
5 ball, something in the side. Everything's wide open.
This is looking pretty good if he
Yeah.
comes up with a shot.
Oh, this is what went in there? It was a 1 ball in the 5. 2
Yeah.
balls a bit.
See, this is where it's troublesome for him because he doesn't move well. I mean, for a player like him, he might be better off just banking this 2 ball. Just go for it.
He might be better off billiarding the 6 in.
Yeah, I mean, that shot's a little harder than it looks. I mean, it's not ridiculous, but it's a little harder than it looks.
No, I'm not sure what he's doing. He's
not. He's not either.
No, I think that you've got a point there because he's looking at cutting it. It's hard to say what he's cutting it. He's trying to cut it. No, he's trying to play the billiard.
Yeah, that shot was harder than it looked because it was pretty sensitive. When you start hitting them thin like that, and the other ball's not close, it's pretty sensitive on the line. And the 6 ball was at that distance from the pocket where it wasn't like automatic. If it had been a little closer to the side rail, it would have been a lot easier.
LS3 won't be caring. She's more concerned about getting this table taken care of. And again, there's absolutely no excuse here. Well, make sure, I mean, if anything, get right over to the right-hand side or just spin it so you go into the top rail. But don't get involved with the 9 ball.
I would either played safe on that 2 ball or banked it. I wouldn't have played that billiard because I thought that was not such an easy shot. The bank wasn't too bad. But I'm not sure how well he banks either.
He's not even playing that. I would have played a little stun into the table there. Just a stun up the rail for the 7 into the side. But anyway.
I mean, the good thing about playing it that way is you're rolling the ball on the next shot line. So, I mean, that's always a good thing to do is roll the ball down the line of the next shot because it's less speed sensitive if you do that. I mean, that's one of those sort of heuristics for pool for moving the cue ball is that you want to roll the cue ball on lines that are either on or close to the line that you want for the next shot. Because the hard thing about the cue ball isn't getting the line right; it's getting the speed right. I know a lot of people struggle with the line, but as you get better, the line gets better and better. The speed is still the hardest thing to get.
Well, still trailing by 1, and. Now the 4 ball's got the legs. The 4 ball's got the legs, and it goes. And plum on the 1. But how's the angle in this one to get up the 2? Let's have a look. Oh, that's fine. Loads of spin.
You're gonna have to juice this one.
Yeah.
This is a little tricky. Because you got to get past that 3 ball. This is not that easy.
Oh, this looks good to me. Loads of spin. Oh, you got to get the legs in it though. You got to get the legs in it, LS3. Look at the line of the cue ball. The cue ball's come down here on the short side of the 2, and it just passed the 7.
Maybe she was just playing for the bedhead the whole time.
Well, maybe that was it.
I mean, all she has to do is make it. Maybe a touch of outside English, make sure the cue ball comes straight up and down the table.
Now, just a little bit in that last comment I was making there. The only danger with that shot that I was talking about was the scratch. So fair play to LS3. She was maybe scared to doing the numpty thing that I was talking about and running at 2-3 rails there and scratching top right hand corner.
It was going to be hard to get it all the way into the corner from the angle she had.
Oh no, gone to rail way too soon. Well, maybe she should have done what I was saying.
Well, whatever. She's given it up. And,
the table was hers. The rack was hers. It's going to go south by the look of it.
If Spectredawn makes this and gets on the 3, it's all over. He's getting out. I mean, this isn't guaranteed here. He's going to have to do something. He's putting inside English on it.
Well,
that's well done.
Going to leave it long.
Yeah, but that's fine. I mean,
he just needs to go. Well, he just needs to go forward and around and out, but. If you go forward, let's have a look at the line.
I think forward's the easiest way to go.
Yeah, needs to just keep moving across. He's obviously not going to do anything to try and get good in the 6. He's just going to pot the 5 and roll the 6 onto the 7. I mean, that anybody with an ounce of common sense is going to do that.
His roll is he's pretty good on the 6. Yeah, and that's all he had to do is go forward there. He was going to be good. So that'll be 15 to 13. She'll need 6 and he'll need 4.
Back to square one for LS3. Chasing Spectredawn's tail again.
Well, she's played pretty good. I mean,
well,
you know, she's still in the match. She's played pretty good.
Well, if you want to look on the other side of things, if Spectredawn gets his break working here, the match could be over, believe it or not. I mean, if he gets into his rhythm just at the right time, she might have just played her last shot. That's the only fear you've always got with this guy. So, 4 away.
Today's International Women's Day. Who decides these things? Who decides it's International Women's Day? It's probably a woman.
Well, that I was going to say there that that 4 ball needs to bump the 3 and 7. It hasn't, and the other thing is that LS3's hooked behind the 9. Well, let's have a look at this 3. Well, the 3's going into the corner if you're down here. It's, sorry, into the side if you're down here, but it's not going into the corner.
You could push to the corner where the 2 is. You know, he's got a shot, but it's not a guaranteed shot.
It's one of those whether he's prepared to take the bait. LS3 fancies the jump in the pot, and that was very nice.
Well, obviously that was a good choice.
The replay of that last shot.
You know, I mean, that wasn't a bad thing to do if she's confident on that shot.
Well, here's my question. You know, what does she do here with this 2 ball? Does she try? Let's have a look at the angle. Does she try and come around, past the 6, down here behind the 3?
I think. Well, you know, I mean, I think I'd try to go between the 6 and the 9 just because the line's natural, and then you can come 2 rails, maybe back up and hit it, or at a speed that you can shoot the 3 in the side pocket.
She's trying to get there.
Well, I don't think this ball goes.
Well, that's what we're saying. It doesn't go into the corner. That's why I said, why didn't she run it to get down below it?
Well, this is fine. I mean, the plan might be to play safe.
Well, I think that's our only option, just to try and get it tight, and that'll do it.
And that was hit perfectly. That's that little stun run, and you know, this is a good shot to work on because that kind of shot comes up a lot, where you know you just want to run it an inch or 2, especially playing safe.
Yeah, the only thing it hasn't done is finish tight to the 7, and the line's there to get to the 3, and Spectredawn has pulled off the kick.
That's a well played shot.
Excellent. Oh, unlucky. What's happened here? No, he's okay. I thought he was going to hook himself.
I mean that was going to be hard to get stuck on the 7. I mean, she played that shot well. I mean, he just made a good return shot on her.
Yeah, and
that is how you want to play that 2 rails kick on the 3, because if you miss that, you know, and it misses a little bit, then you know you're probably safe. The cue ball's coming down the rail, and the 3 ball is going to bounce and go to the end rail. There are a lot of blockers, and you know, if you do leave something, it's going to be long.
Well, the gap heads back to 3 again, and definitely running out of racks time. You know, there's
that was a huge shot there.
Making
that kick shot.
No room for manoeuvre here for LS3 now.
Yeah, this was looking a lot like it was going to be 1 game difference, and now all of a sudden it's 3.
Now Spectredawn's looking for problems.
Well, you can always shoot this in the corner if you don't like how the cue ball's moving. You always got that choice.
Well, You drop it into the side pocket. I mean, I would always put a wee bit of right on it so that I hit the bottom rail and come out the table like that, to the right like that. I mean, I wouldn't have had to think it for, 45 seconds. So now it's going to be a good win for LS3. You should get out of this hole.
Well, when you get down to the end of these, it's a huge advantage, to be in. This is a 2-1 situation now. It's 6 games to 3. And Spectredawn's breaking.
Three
and
ball
he's
in
got
the
a
side,
ball in the break.
ball in the corner.
And he's got a shot, I believe. Well, let's see. It's not such a wonderful shot.
It's a combo, isn't it? From distance at an awkward angle.
Yeah, you can play safe. You can always play safe.
Well, you can overcut the one, send it back in behind the 8 and duck up the table.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different things you can do here.
He's played saying, a little combo.
I'm going to make this combo and run out, is what he's saying.
He's going to take the initiative, go for the kill.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. That kind of shot is if you like that and you're confident you're making it, then it's absolutely the right thing to do is shoot it, because the rest of the table's easy. He knows he's going to run out if he makes up that combination. This is one of these extended balls, the side pocket to another extended ball. You got to be a little careful how you get on this. And that was the right thing to do. And he's making it look easy, which is,
yeah.
That's
when they're all there, it should be easy. That's the thing for this level of player.
Well, that's his best attribute is he can play, simple pool, and a lot of players can't. You get a guy like Stubb, and he doesn't seem to play that simple a pool a lot of times. Where Spectredawn, he's simple, and.
I thought he changed that to the jaw there.
That was close. Well, that was close. I don't think that missed the titty by much. He might have been holding his breath too.
So he's 2 away. Yeah.
Yeah, this is
an almighty turnaround here needed.
She needs something to happen here, starting with a dry break and sellout.
Well, it's a game of numbers. He's got to get to 19. LS3 just has to keep playing and potting balls, given the opportunity.
Not dry, and he'll probably go for this because especially when your safety game's not that good, you're going to shoot at this.
2 and 4's gone.
Yeah, it's pretty automatic shape on the 3 too. I don't get why he played it that way. He played that with draw. Maybe he's playing safe. I don't know what he was doing there.
Well, this is exactly the scenario now for LS3. No miss.
Yeah.
Run the table.
That shot's got me baffled what he just did on that one ball. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. Yeah, I mean, you just, if you weren't sure about the shot, then play safe. You don't want to give up the table. Give her any kind of chances. I mean, she's capable of breaking and running out a few racks.
Yep, that's the beauty of it. I mean, she's behind, but that could have been Spectredawn's last shot. It's unlikely, but there's always that possibility. And you've just got to live and believe that when you're chasing them down.
I just didn't get how he shot that one ball. If you're going to shoot that one ball, you go across past the other side pocket and play shape on the 3. Otherwise, you play safe.
Oh, look what Bedhead just typed, Steve. That's terrible.
Yeah, well, sometimes I feel that way too, Bedhead, that I'm too easily baffled.
So that's one to check off the list. But the list is big enough. It has to shrink.
Yeah, well, I mean, as long as you got control of the table, you're still got a chance to win. So all important that she makes the ball and gets a shot.
Oh, 8 balls
There's
gone.
the ball.
Now, hang on a minute. Oh, it's a good bank in the 1.
Yeah, this is a little tricky though, getting on the 2. This is a little bit tricky here.
She's hampered over this 4 ball. But,
Yeah,
it's a sellout. She's going to go for it. I mean, I don't think she's going to hang about.
This is tricky because the 7 ball comes into play, the 6 ball comes into play. I mean, that was tricky.
And
I wouldn't have shot at that just because of the difficulty of getting on the 2 ball. I mean, the bank wasn't a problem, but getting on the 2 ball was.
Yeah, I think she just decided it was, it's me at the table, it's my chance, I might as well have a go at it. I think that was it.
Well, again, it's like you're making a decision based on what your moving game is, and if you don't move that well, then that might be the best option. Yeah, I mean, that's why you want to learn to move better, so you have more options. But I'm not going to say that was a mistake in decision making there, because if you don't know how to play safe there, you might as well shoot it.
There was a decision that Spectredawn made there. I'm pretty certain he'd potting the one into the side pocket, opposite side there, that left side as we look, and he decided to play the safety. Because he actually thought to himself it might not have been too easy to go on the 2. And
yeah, and the safety was easy, which is kind of the evaluation process you want to make.
Well, Spectredawn's just going to leave himself somewhere on the 50-yard line here if he can, once he pots this 1, and make the cut in the 2. Well, he's running through. He's quite happy to leave these cuts. And if he bumps the 9, it won't do him any harm. Unless he bumps it the wrong way. And he's missed it, and he's perfect. And he's on the hill.
Yeah, and this is pretty straightforward here. It's hard to imagine him messing this up. I mean, that's the thing, is this ability to just be like simple in situations like this. I mean, he's not going to get out of line, and because everything he does is just simple: dink, dink, stun, stun, and he's out.
Well, I mean, assuming it goes the way it's going, it's looking very likely to go, and then the match has gone reasonably to the sort of idea that we thought. Taking the table out more often than not is always going to favour Spectredawn that bit more.
Well, I mean, LS3 has simplified her game a lot. I think she settles for rolling the ball and longer shots a little more. I mean, Spectredawn's got a little bit more simple elegance, I would say, to his game. See that just stun over straight in. I mean, he's hit what 5 or 6 stun shots in a row and been perfect on every ball. He's a little bit better at that than she is right now. But he's made some amazing outs.
Just cold ball, shot in the 1.
Yeah, and this
nailed to the rail.
Yeah, well, this shot is doable. I mean, you're going to hit this with draw. You're going to stun this, maybe a little bit of English, and come back down past the 3.
Well, he's going to have to get right into it. Yeah.
No.
I mean, it was too close to the rail to get any semblance of draw in that shot.
No, you could have. He overcut it, and that's why it didn't come back. I mean, he hit it thin.
Well, I'd be checking this with a bit of left just to make sure
I'd go the other way, I think.
Oh, well, that's handy. Finding a gap.
Well, that's going to work. Yeah, that little check shot, it's...
Well, the only reason I said...
shooting that is it's highly dependent on how much of the ball you take.
Yeah.
Whereas the other way, even though it was maybe a little tighter on that side, was more guaranteed.
I was thinking the 2 was tighter to the 7, and the only reason I said that was because they don't want to come down here and be hampered with the 7 trying to get to the 2. But the 7 was never in play. Well, it's certainly tricky.
Well, you're either going to have to juice this up and try to get around the corner, which is going to be tricky, especially the 7 ball there, or you're going to have to try to come across above the 6, which I think is a better option.
This is touch.
I'm not sure what she was doing there.
Well, I don't think she was either, because she never played the shot. I think she had the spin on it to do what the 2 and 3 railer to drop round this side of the 5, but she never played it. I think she might have hit the ball unintentionally there. Unintentional is the word.
Yeah, certainly didn't have the speed. I would have played above it just because it was pretty easy to get above it, and it was hard to go that way.
The biggest problem here is you got to, if you can, hit this clean rather than coming off it and splitting these balls up. And that's not a bad result if it doesn't scratch. She'll take that every day of the week.
Yeah, that was.
She will settle for that.
The replay of that last shot.
So he should probably try to just kick this 2-3 ball on the side. I think that's what
hang on a minute. Not the side, Steve. Got the wrong pocket. Oh, I mean, some commentator you are.
And the 9 ball's on here. I mean, this is almost dead. As long as you don't hit this too hard, I think the 9 ball is in.
It looks it's got a fair chance the way I'm looking at it.
It's sitting pretty good. Just kind of a normal, like, kind of a start here, and that 9 ball's gone.
He's focused solely on the 5. The 9 will take care of itself if it's going to go, but he's making sure he's getting the 5. And the 9 hasn't gone, and his cue ball's spinning far enough, I think.
Yeah, well, he pushed through that ball. I mean, it was a little bit more of a stop shot than it was a push through shot.
Need to juice the right English up in this a wee bit.
Yeah, this shot's a little tricky. I mean, you really got to juice this up.
Yeah.
You can go around the table too, but with the 8 ball there, it's hard.
No, hitting the 9 is no harm done.
You said it well.
So, I think the 7 is fine. No, maybe not.
It's close. It's close. I mean, it's possible you could miss this.
Yeah, this is too close for comfort. This 7 ball, not frozen, but not far off it. You just got to get it sweet, and he'll be taking the 8 into the side.
Yeah, that's a good shot. So.
Well, I would imagine there's a few guys in the stream actually got this call right on the score, not far off it, a few of them, I think.
Yeah, I think there were some in that range.
Mine got blown out of the water. So, well done to Spectredawn. Well done to LS3 because... in all honesty, she could have come apart at the seams when she was 5-1 down. She won about 7 or 8 racks in a row to take the lead. The strength game, or the strength parts of Spectredawn's game that he excels at, they pulled him through in the end. But Spectredawn now has to face up to Cobra. LS3, we'll have a quick look at that. This is going to update in a second, just to see who she ends up with. And she's going to be, in fact, it's just updated. She's going to play Nick. There's another cracking match to see in the one loss side. LS3 against Nick. Spectredawn definitely is playing Cobra. And a quick look at the stats. In fact, we'll have a look at the overall stats of the tournament in a second as well. Spectredawn, delete, and well, LS. I like this is why I like LS3's name, because you can't go wrong with LS3's name as long as you type LS3. And there she is. Go now. Brake stats, LS3 15 brakes, yeah, well, Spectredawn was exactly one ball in the brake average, LS3.6.
It's not terrible, because I look more at the brake percentage and 60 and 61.
Yeah, 60 and 61's even up.
It wasn't terrible. 50 is getting to the terrible range, and 60's okay, but not great.
Runouts from the brake, 3 for LS3, Spectredawn 4. 9 ball stats. Rack's high run was 2 for LS3. That was those 2 that she had after winning that one rack and then running the next 2. Spectredawn had 6 racks run, 4 racks overall for LS3. Moneyball shot 100%. Right, now we'll clear that. Bear in mind again that some of these stats are a bit misleading because of the amount of games some people have played, but there's usually a fair pattern in it. Let's have a look. Brake stats, average balls made. Chimpy is well out in front there. 1.4 on the brake. He's at 32 brakes.
Yeah, look at his brake percentage too.
Yeah, 81. And Shibo, is he still in the tournament, Shibo? See, again, some of these people are...
I think Shibo's out now.
Yeah, some of these people are out the tournament, so their stats aren't going to change. Tommy 1.2, Quagmire 1.1, Bedhead 1.1, Sergresh, Larry's over 1, Rabbi's over 1, Rabbia's, Spectredawn's over 1, Cobra's on 1, and then it drops away. Nick's just under that. Semi-Pro is just under it. So
sort of by brake percentage, because that's really a more telling number.
There you go. So, well, again, that's a bit misleading because Quagmire, I think he's out as well, isn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, he had 24 brakes. That's a great percentage.
But 83%, and then Bobby Barris in 81, Chimpy's in 3rd, and then there's a drop of 3 points to Brain Pull Out, Bedhead, Shibo, Sergresh, and then it tails away. Popman's in 71. Mind you, he only had 7 brakes and he get pummeled.
Anything above 65 is pretty darn good, and the 70s is really good.
Yeah, One Pocket Slim could do with upping his game a little bit. That's where he's been struggling.
It's not terrible, but not great either.
0.8 for balls in the brake. So, no, the other thing I was going to do is just come out of that. Where's my buttons? Just have a look at if I can remember what one it is for the schedule.
Welcome to VP4 TV, a tactical genius
We've had this
production.
Match tonight.
Here is a list of upcoming matches in the 2023
tomorrow
Virtual
night.
9 Ball World Championships.
Interchange X and
I
Lab
try to
have set
stream
the
what I
match.
think will be the best matches to
And that's
watch
going to
and
be
offer a good
midnight
standard
my
of
time.
play. Please
On
subscribe to my
Friday.
YouTube and Twitch channels so you can
Spud
join in
Boy
the
and
stream
Snake
chat.
Eyes on Friday at 2:30 AM. Well, I won't be up for any of them. Mr. Bill and Chimpy is on Saturday night. That's the one lost side match. And that'll be 2 PM Eastern, 7 PM GMT, 11 AM Pacific, isn't it? So that's the matches remaining. And so with that, again, unless Steve's got anything else to say, oh well, there's LS3. Well done, LS3.
Good plan, LS3.
From 5-1 down, you got yourself back in it. Spectredawn just had that little bit of an edge there at the end that saw him over the line. But nobody wants to play LS3. That's the reputation you've got. Nobody wants to come near you. And there's going to be a minefield in that one loss side. Who knows? You might be lucky enough and bump into Stubb. Sure, she's looking forward to that. So I'm going to call it a night and go and catch the end of the football or get the results, that is. And as I say, unless you get anything else you want to add, Steve, or anything you want to mention, well, no. I'm going to thank Steve for his participation. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for the 600 odd subscribers, and we will bid you good night again, folks. We'll see you again soon. Guys. Take care.
Good night, ladies.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.